What's going on, everybody? My name is Michael Weer, and it's time to talk about the weekend box office results. We got some movies that underperformed, we got a movie that broke a record, and we're going to talk about it right now. The first movie we're going to talk about is a movie that came in 12th place this weekend, and it's a movie that opened this weekend, and that is the movie Gotti. Gotti only made $1.6 million this weekend, but keep in mind that it only opened to 503 theaters and there wasn't a lot of advertising. Normally big movies that they're expecting to do really well in the box office that have a lot of advertising, they open in over 3,000 to 4,000 theaters, like the number one movie did this weekend. But in this case, it only opened to 503 theaters, so 1.6 million, kind of expected. Movie that fell short of predicted numbers was the movie Superfly, which only made $6.3 million this weekend on a budget of $16 million this weekend. I'm pretty sure the studio was hoping to at least make its money back on the first or second weekend, but at this point I'm not sure if it'll pick up any traction going forward. And now we've got to talk about the movies that fell out of the top 5 this past weekend, and the first one we have to talk about is the almighty Avengers Infinity War, which made $5.2 million this past weekend, but during the week last week it passed $2 billion at the global worldwide box office, and that's a pretty big deal because only 4 movies have ever done that before, so congratulations to Avengers Infinity War, Disney, Marvel, all those places. You did it. You joined the $2 billion club. And the movie that came in number 6 this weekend dropped from number 4 last weekend. It made a little over $7 million, and that is the movie Hereditary. If you haven't seen my review on that, make sure you go check that out so you know not to go check this movie out. That's all I have to say about Hereditary. And now it's time for the top 5. The movie that came in number 5 this week was number 3 last week. That's right, Deadpool 2 made $8.8 million this weekend for a little over $294 million domestically. This will probably be the last weekend we see Deadpool in the top 5 because so many summer blockbusters opening with Jurassic World opening next weekend, but Deadpool 2, you had a good run and I doubt we'll see you again in the top 5. And the movie Solo: A Star Wars Story dropped from the number 2 spot to the number 4 spot, which I didn't really see coming, but a lot of movies have been opening lately. This movie made a little over $9 million this weekend, and domestically so far has made $192 million. And opening this weekend, coming in at number 3, made $14.6 million, was the movie Tag. I'm going to post a review for that a little later. Guys, if you haven't seen the movie Tag, I recommend you take some time to go see it. It's a really fun comedy. It's got a lot of heart, and the laughs just keep coming. So I recommend you go see Tag and maybe bump this, keep this movie in the top 5 for a little longer. And dropping from the number 1 spot to the number 2 spot is the movie Ocean's 8, which made $19.5 million this weekend. Domestically so far, it's made a little over $79 million. It cost the movie studio $70 million to make, so this movie has now turned a profit, and in the next couple of weeks we'll make a little more money, and it will get an Ocean's 9, or Ocean's 8 Part 2. But I would assume they'd call it Ocean's 9. And then Ocean's 10, and then it's all a prequel to the Ocean's 11 movies. Which then did 12 and 13. You guys get where I'm going with this. And finally, the big one. The movie that broke a weekend record. And what weekend record is that? Well, Incredibles 2 is now the highest opening weekend animated movie ever at $180 million. And I believe Finding Dory held the record before at a little over $135 million, but this movie made $180 million this weekend, and I don't think anybody could have predicted that. But you just have to remember, all those adults were kids 14 years ago, so Pixar may look at this, Disney, Pixar, all the same, right? Anyway, they may look at this and they might be like, you know what, let's release a fan favorite and then 14 years later do this every time, because those kids grow up and they really want to see more. Let's just do it. Guys, those have been the weekend box office results. If you enjoyed these weekend box office results, hit the like button and make sure you hit the share button so your friends can see these results and maybe they decide what they want to go see. Guys, if you saw any of the movies that I talked about here today, put that in the comment section down below. Let me know what you saw and let me know if you liked it. And finally, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that. Thanks for watching, and that's all I got.